And now, WFXR News presents Veterans Voices, honoring those who served. Veterans Voices is sponsored by Davenport Energy, thanking our veterans for their sacrifice and service. Easy Mobility Solutions, honored to serve our veterans. Visit our showroom and let us help you rediscover your freedom. Frontline Eurosports, honored to recognize our veterans and thank them for their service. Hardee's, proud to support our local veterans and thanks them for their service to our country. The Life, Liberty, Happiness Podcast. Catch the Veteran Spotlight on each podcast at www.llhshow.com. Oakey's Funeral Home and Crematory. Oakey's thanks our veterans who honorably served our country. Skyline Hearth and Fire, where comfort meets style. And Potomac Chimney and Masonry Services, saluting veterans for their patriotism and service.
Hello and thank you for joining us for our Veterans Voices special. I'm Jermaine Ferrell.
And I'm Hazelmarie Anderson. Over the next half hour, we will hear stories from those who served our great nation, who settled across our region. But before we start this program, we have to recognize our very own veteran, Jermaine. Thank you so much for your service.
Hazelmarie, I really appreciate your kind words. I spent 10 years in the Army growing a tight bond with my fellow soldiers. And speaking of a tight bond, this group was a tight bond. 17 veterans from the Vietnam War and Korean War, they embarked on a journey to Washington, D.C. to see several monuments and memorials and pay respect to the thousands of soldiers who paid the ultimate sacrifice in combat.
That's right. Now, WFXR's Michael Doty joined these veterans on the 11th Central and Southwestern Virginia Honor Flight and shares their journey of their unique experience.
Twice a year, the Central and Southwestern Virginia Honor Flight takes local veterans from different military backgrounds on a free trip to our nation's capital.
I was in the Army for 4 years, and I was over Vietnam 13 months.
I served in the Marine Corps from 71 to 74. Went through Officer Candidate School here at Quantico, Virginia.
I served at Chelsea Naval Hospital outside of Boston.
Each goes for different reasons, but their similar experiences makes them fast friends.
You're in the same family. That's you have that family connection. That's what it is for me.
It's a great experience. The camaraderie is so warm and open.
It was a day of exploring and touring several military and war memorials in and around D.C. It was a chance for these veterans to see the names of the brave men and women who did not make it back home.
I've been to the Lincoln and the Washington and those, but it's the first time I've seen some of the others, and it's personally knowing some of the people's names that's on those, it just means so much.
Things did not go according to schedule. The government shutdown and road closures from No Kings protests prevented us from seeing the United States Army Museum and the United States Navy Memorial.
I think overall it went well, but, I would have liked to made it to the Navy Memorial for our Navy vets.
But that also meant a private tour of the Air Force Memorial, which was closed to everyone except honor flight guests.
I was kind of afraid that we weren't even going to be able to go, but to be able to see it is nice.
Once everyone returned to the National D-Day Memorial in Bedford and got to share their experiences, they all could not be any happier they went.
Those that are out there that haven't been, that think about coming, that want to come, you need to get in contact with somebody so that you can do this. It'll change your life.
The next honor flight is scheduled for April 17th to the 19th. Michael Doty, WFXR News.
Now, this year marks the 50th anniversary of the Vietnam War and the creation of a new tribute to Bedford's men and women who served.
Now, WFXR's Rhiannon Lyles got a preview before the unveiling of the new memorial.
A blank space on Main Street will soon belong to the memory of 14 people who died serving their country during the Vietnam War.
We have forgotten, and it's taken 50 years to give our Vietnam veterans and these 14 who gave their lives the recognition that they deserve.
Doug Berry is on the Bedford Vietnam Veterans Memorial Board. Planning and fundraising began in 2024, but the idea goes back to 2007.
Prizing the board with the right people, with the right energy levels, who have the right resources.
It's a tribute a long time coming, giving our local Vietnam veterans a welcome home and making sure those lost in combat are never forgotten.
They didn't have a choice. Many were 18 and 19 years old, and it really is the predominant age group of those who died in Vietnam. I think that as a veteran and having been in different conflicts and seen similar things, it's difficult coming home and knowing that we had parades, we had the accolades, people in airports meeting us and thanking us. And then we reflect back on those that came before us that didn't have that. They didn't get a thank you.
The memorial is complete, though it won't be unveiled until later this month.
A center column with 14 names. Above that is a battlefield cross made from bronze, and it's almost 5 feet tall. And it consists of a helmet from the Vietnam era, the M1, M16, and some combat boots. And it reflects the grave marker that was used on the battlefield in Vietnam. On each side of the center pillar will be a wing, and on the right wing, it actually will have a national scope, if you will, and it has the iconic Huey helicopters and the infantrymen with the words "Never Forget." The left wing of the memorial will have some words that we have captured by interviewing numerous veterans throughout the East Coast and across the United States.
It's a product of teamwork, local businesses owned by veterans, and those who want to show their respect.
And that's what made this happen. It's a community coming together.
The memorial will be revealed in front of the Bedford County Courthouse November 22nd. Barry says the crowd will include dignitaries, veterans, and dozens of family members of those service members listed on the memorial, and it's expected to be a big crowd.
I don't believe we will have adequate seating.
In Bedford, Rian Lowndes, WFXR News.
Now, according to recent data, nearly 400 veterans are experiencing homelessness across the state of Virginia.
Now, Hazelmarie, WFXR anchor Sydney Jacksheimer introduced us to one local veteran who experienced homelessness and tells us about the resources that helped him get off the streets and start helping others like him.
Jared Rose is a veteran justice specialist with Virginia's Department of Veteran Services, helping veterans who are involved in the criminal justice system.
Civilian life is a lot different from military life. So learning, what that looks like, you lose a lot of that camaraderie that you have while in service. So you kind of feel isolated at times.
Rose, a veteran himself, understands the struggles of the people he now helps.
2008, 2009, I was injured. I was a paratrooper. I had an injury, so I became addicted to Oxycontin when I was in the military, which led to years of substance abuse issues, which ultimately led to me being incarcerated. About 2.5 years ago, I had just left incarceration myself. I was technically homeless. I got my act together, and now I try and give back the best way I can.
It was programs like the VA, Virginia's Department of Veteran Services, and TAP's supportive services for veteran families who helped Rose.
We have two major programs for veterans. One is an employment-based program. The goal of the employment program is to reintegrate them back into some type of employment. The other program that we have with homeless services is making sure our veterans are housed and they're not homeless on the streets. And we serve over 180 homeless veterans a year.
According to the point-in-time count for the greater Roanoke Valley, 29 veterans were experiencing homelessness in September. Over the last 5 years, that number has fluctuated between 20 to 30. Whether a veteran or a civilian, the root causes of homelessness are the same.
Currently, 51 veterans on our homeless community queue. It's like a waiting list. They are waiting for housing referrals of some kind. So this gets to the bigger picture of not enough housing availability.
These veteran-specific programs are to protect the men and women who have put their lives on the line to protect us.
We're very prideful as veterans. We just need a little help sometimes. There's no need to struggle. Reach out to us. There's individuals out here who care, who can help, who will help.
That was Sydney Jacksheimer reporting.
So Hazelmarie, the Department of Veterans Affairs located in Salem also has a department specifically for homeless veterans in need of supportive housing and health care.
Now coming up, one veteran is trading the barracks for the gridiron. More on how he's making his football dream come true. Now, Virginia Tech redshirt freshman long snapper Drew Doyle is always challenging himself. So once his enlistment ended, well, he decided he wanted to go to school, but he took it one step further. Doyle figured he'd try out a little college football. WFXR's weekend sports anchor Ryan Moy caught up with Doyle about his journey from the Navy to the football field.
Drew Doyle graduated high school in 2019. He then decided to join the Navy and spent 5 years as a hospital corpsman. Then was stationed in California, Texas, and ultimately spent the bulk of his enlistment near the Chicago area. Now he's a part of one of the most recognizable units in Virginia Tech football history.
Here at Virginia Tech, where special teams does, like you said, means so much. It's an honor to be able to put the jersey on, and especially to be a specialist and have my entire job be that special teams. I just really hope that I can do my part to continue to make that the case.
He's hoping to merge some of his naval experience to help build towards team success.
Obviously, I hope I can bring some of that maturity to the table. It's kind of interesting because I have my experiences, but they have the college football experience that they've been able to teach me a ton, and I hope that in turn I've been able to teach them some.
But it's the similarities between the sport he loves and the Navy that continue to bring him joy.
The brotherhood that college football brings is definitely something similar to what I'm used to, is being in the service, and I think that is something that I've really enjoyed. It's something a lot of people do miss whenever they get out of the military, is that sense of belonging and that one true goal that you can work towards with a bunch of different people. So that being the case and me being here, it's been a much easier transition than I know some service members have had to face.
For Veterans Voices, I'm Ryan Moy.
Thank you so much, Ryan. It was more than just Friday night lights in Franklin County. It was a night to honor, remembrance, and football. As the Eagles of Franklin County High School hosted the Patrick Henry Patriots, the community also came together to pay tribute to local veterans during a special Veterans Day ceremony held at Cy Dillon Stadium. WFXR's sports reporter Miriam Chamberlain has the story.
On a night where the scoreboard usually tells the story, it was the sidelines and stands at Cy Dillon Stadium that carried a deeper meaning.
When people honoring us veterans, we're going to show up. It means a lot that we know that somebody can support us, and the support's there for everything we've been through. So seeing this is a big blessing.
Franklin County High School honored local veterans with a special ceremony ahead of Friday's football matchup against the Patrick Henry Patriots.
I'm a lot younger, a veteran, and you get the guys that are still alive that are, World War II, that really made this country something, that really did stuff for us. But it's awesome, just the atmosphere and being here in Franklin County with the team and all the citizens, it's great.
And as the national anthem was played in unison, each branch stood tall. The Eagles took the field in their camo unis, inspired by the very people they came to honor.
It's very heartening, for the citizens to see us and represent the veterans, and just that constant over the years as you go along, every year. And then we have Veterans Day that comes up. It makes you feel good.
The game carried even more weight, as it also served as a tribute to the heroes and victims of 9/11.
That's what made the country what it is today, and if it wasn't for, all the armed service branches and the supporting from the citizens.
Even a little of the big things that people still recognize the veterans. It's not even Veterans Day, but they put this on for us veterans, so I love doing this, and anytime somebody show up for vets, we there to support too.
From kickoff to the final whistle, it was a night to remember, not just for the battle on the field, but for the salute to those who serve.
As I see the little kids walk by here too, a lot of them say, hey, we appreciate your service. And that right there just touches my heart, knowing that the little ones is already looking up. So I love it.
In Franklin County, I'm Miriam Chamberlain.
Now, the annual Vinton Veterans Day Ruck March is quickly becoming one of the town's staple events, honoring both fallen and living veterans.
WFXR's Sam Graham participated in the 4-mile march through town this year and tells us why this initiative is so important to the vets in the town of Vinton.
The concept of a ruck march is simple, according to Vinton PD's Corporal Dibble. Weigh down your backpack and march in the direction your sergeant tells you until they tell you to stop. On the surface, Vinton's Veterans Day Ruck March is the same concept, a 4-mile walk through town. But the weight it carries for the participating veterans goes well beyond the heavy bags they wear on their backs.
A lot of ruck marches started for veteran suicide prevention, and now it's just kind of branched out into such a huge genre for local events, Veterans Day and Memorial Day. And we do it for fellowship, to get everyone together, remind our vets that they aren't broken and that we care about them and that they're family.
The Vinton Ruck March was born from a veterans committee formed within the Vinton Police Department around 2022. And while in just 2 years it's already become a Vinton staple, participation is not limited to locals.
We're all family, and we want to encourage people to kind of grow their family, get as large as they can, come out, have some fellowship, learn about each other, and just be as positive as we can about our veterans and about our community.
Honoring our veterans and honoring our local heroes doesn't have borders, and it's all within our area, our region, and we should all participate. So just being around other veterans and other community groups has been great.
Corrine and Patrick Rogers operate a Henry County-based nonprofit called All Vets, one of several groups offering veteran-based support and resources that participated in Vinton's Ruck March this year.
Our mission is to honor the fallen and strengthen the living, and we just saw this opportunity to come up here to Vinton today and partner with them and just kind of be involved and meet community partners, things like that.
When the veterans returned from the march, they rolled up their sleeves again and got right back to work on the field of honor, planting 300 flags in the front lawn of the Vinton War Memorial as a tribute to both living and fallen veterans. Vinton Mayor and U.S. Army veteran Brad Gross says Vinton is a town of veterans, and days like this put that on display.
Particularly as a veteran, I am very touched by this effort that the town has made. So it's really an exciting day and a day we can all be proud to be an American.
In Vinton, Sam Graham, WFXR News.
Thank you so much, Sam. Coming up, a local business owner is helping to bring joy to folks throughout the region with the power of VR. Why he says his time in the military helped give him the necessary skills to make it a reality. This is Veterans Voices. Well, welcome back to Veterans Voices. Reality sets in fairly quickly, Hazelmarie, for many who enlist in the military. Take it from me.
Now listen up, as WFXR's Ron Morosco tells us, for one local veteran, his reality years later turned virtual.
Off Apperson Street in Salem, you'll find the VR Center, an electronic playground. Scoring points for kids and adults alike.
The concept behind this was for a safe place for kids and families to come to, have a safe place to have fun.
Veteran Todd Flood owns the virtual reality hotspot and says his military background gave him some of the skills needed to run the gaming attraction.
I come from an engineering background, control engineering background.
But it goes beyond the technical training. Flood says everyone should join the military because you'll learn a lot of life skills that you'll use after you take the uniform off.
It's a good building block in life. You learn on that and it sticks with you.
Flood joined the Army in 1988 and served for 8 years. His veteran status and business acumen earned him the 2023 Small Business Veteran of the Year for the Roanoke Salem area.
You have your pistols, your Uzis.
He says a few factors played into winning the award.
The customer service, the technology here.
Along with virtual sports, simulated experiences like racing, riding roller coasters, which I tried out, to everyday games. It seems the VR Center has something for everybody.
It's doing fairly well. We have, the roller coaster ride here and there, but it's still doing good.
And Flood says the real victory comes after a day of battling virtual competitors, leaving the players in great spirits.
And we love it when we see people walking out with a smile on their face. It's what it's all about.
In Salem, Ron Morosco, WFXR News.
Well, Ron was having a good time right
Sure
there.
was. Now, Flood says that the VR Center hosts birthday parties, corporate events, gaming tournaments, and so much more.
So, Hazelmarie, you can learn more about the virtual gaming facility at the vrcenter.net.
Now, last May, before the Memorial Day weekend, as school let out for the summer, students at Bedford County's Montvale Elementary School, got an education on the meaning, of the military.
So I got a chance to get an experience on this lesson that the students, faculty, and veterans will never forget.
This week, it's the last week of school. We have a lot of fun events going on, field day, promotion ceremonies, but most kids will tell you that Run for the Wall is their favorite day. I think it inspires the veterans to see the younger generation loving their country and having an interest in the veterans and what it means, what this ride means to them. And it inspires the kid. It shows them, we at Montvale, we're the Patriots. That's our mascot. And so it gives them an example of what that means to be a Patriot.
The Montvale Elementary School Patriots, showing their patriotism with song. As well as waving Old Glory as the Run for the Wall bikers made their way to the school before the Memorial Day weekend. The more than 340 bikers are appreciative of the treatment from the school, as well as sharing their story to the students.
We have our veterans who are still healing, but we also need to educate our young kids to understand what they have done in their life, providing the freedoms that they have, but also to understand that if they move forward in their life to be a military, they will never be forgotten, never left behind. And we want to make sure they know that, but we also want them to know how much they can be and do because of what our military's done for them.
We get to talk to the kids a lot about Memorial Day and what it means, and what the ride is for, and this is just a very patriotic part of the country, and we love it.
The Run for the Wall stop at Montvale Elementary was a tradition started off as a friendly gesture by the Montvale Elementary School students several years ago, as the children on the playground waved when the bikers rolled past the school on Highway 460, turned into something special. The following year, the bikers made it a point to stop at the school to speak at the kids, and has become an annual tradition.
Memorial Day is a big deal for us, and this Run for the Wall, it gives the kids, a face, 340 faces really, and it gives them sort of an explanation to what we are remembering, the service, the sacrifice that so many have given so that we can freely learn at our school.
Well, that's all the time we have. On behalf of Nexstar and WFXR News, we would like to extend our thanks to all veterans. Your work and sacrifice has not gone unnoticed. Your country owes you so much.
That's right. Now, to see all of our stories on our local veterans, you can visit our website, WFXRTV.com.
Thank you so much for joining us for our Veterans Voices special. I'm Jermaine Ferrell.
And I'm Hazelmarie Anderson, and we hope that you have a great rest of your day.